Hello everyone and welcome to the Pippins pregame show. I'm Chris Rosado Jr. The Pippins dropped Game 2 of their series 6-3 last night to the Port Angeles Lefties. They've already lost the series. They play here tonight to try to avoid their first sweep of the season. Last night, Blake Dickman was named our Cascade Natural Gas High Efficiency Player of the Game after he went 2 for 4 with an RBI that gave the Pippins a temporary lead in the 5th inning. Here's what he had to say about shaving off his mustache before last night's game.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm superstitious, but I am a little stitious. So I thought shaving, would put me back in the hit column, and it did. I also thought it would put us back in the win column. Unfortunately, it didn't, but tomorrow night we'll bounce back.
Last night's game was back and forth throughout the night. When we come back, I'll take you through the ups and downs of last night's game as we recap that one. Tonight is Thirsty Thursday and Celebrate America Night with fireworks after the game presented by Banner Bank. When we come back, lineups as we get you ready for tonight's game. You're tuned into the Pippins pregame show.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Pippins pregame show. I'm Chris Rosado Jr. Last night, Kenny Johnson was rolling on the mound for the first part of the game. He foiled a sacrifice bunt attempt by throwing the lead runner out at third base, and picked off Trevor Tashenkel after giving up a double to lead off the top of the second inning. Meanwhile, Alex Shanks was hit by a pitch in the first inning, and the Pippins took advantage of an early error by the Lefties to take the lead. Grounder to the left side. Thomas to his right makes the throw across his body. One hops the first baseman. Lajoie now on his way to second as the ball went to the fence. The throw gets there in time, but Lajoie steps to the far side of the bag. Javi Espinoza had a long way to go to bring the tag around and missed Lajoie's leg. He didn't even have to slide. So here's the 0-1 from Sato. Grounder up the middle. That hit something in the infield. Thomas again makes the throw, this time on target to retire Noah Williamson. Alex Shanks scores from third on the play, and Lajoie moves over to third. So Johnson ran into his first bit of trouble in the 5th inning, giving up 2 runs that gave the Lefties a 2-1 lead, but Pippins responded in the bottom half of the inning with 2 of their own to retake the lead. Triple. Here's the 1-2. Spencer does take off, swing and a miss by Shanks. The throw into second, not in time, and off target. Spencer Marenko steals second as Alex Shanks strikes out for out number 2. The pitch lined back up the middle. Spencer Marenko will get waved around from second. He will score easily. The throw goes to second. Lajoie with an RBI base hit ties this game back up at 2 here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the 2-2. Hit to the right side. That'll get past the infield. Lajoie waved around from third. Saunders will throw to the plate. It one-hops the plate. Lajoie scores. The throw goes to third. Williamson into third safely. And Johnson ran out of gas in the 6th, loading the bases with no outs. The Pippins turned to Owen Wild. He did his job, induced some weak contact, but things went south on that play. With no outs and the bases loaded, the first pitch. Grounder to Spencer Marenko at second. Tough play. He doesn't make it cleanly over to first, and it gets past Dickman. The runner started taking off for home, but now 2 runners at third base. Carpentier will run them back. It's the first batter runner back to third, now chasing the second to second. Overthrows second base, and the Pippins start to fall apart on this play. The run scores the second run of the play. Wild set. Here's the pitch to Tashenkel. chopper up the middle will get past the infield playing back, and both runners will score as Noah Williamson gathers it and throws it on to second. So
neither team would be able to score from there, and the Lefties walked away with a 6-3 victory and the series win. When we come back, I'll take you through the lineups ready for tonight's game. You're tuned into the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome inside Yakima County Stadium for tonight's contest, the series finale between the Port Angeles Lefties and your Yakima Valley Pippins. Take you through tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by the Yakima Herald-Republic. For the best sports coverage in the Yakima Valley, subscribe to the Yakima Herald-Republic, either in print or online. You can subscribe by calling 577-7755. The Yakima Herald-Republic, they tell your stories. For the Lefties, Taku Kataoka will lead off and play right field. Javi Espinoza, the second baseman, hits second. Coleman Schmidt will DH and hit third. Garrett Lake, the center fielder, hits cleanup tonight. Shea Thomas, the first baseman, hits fifth. Trevor Tashenko will bat sixth and play left field. Carson Crawford, the third baseman, will hit seventh. Jack Holman behind the plate hits eighth, and Nick Oakley, the shortstop, will round out the bottom of the order. Starting pitcher for the Port Angeles Lefties is Riley Agson, who will make his first appearance for the Lefties. Chaz Myers will lead off for the Pippins tonight. He plays third base. Connor Cabalas in a familiar spot at shortstop, batting second. Michael Carpentier Jr. moves up to the 3 spot. He will catch tonight. Sam Olson behind him is the DH. Willie Lajoie moves down to the 5 spot and will play first base. Mason Marenko, the second baseman, will hit 6th. Blake Dickman will bat 7th and play right field. Chase Graves in center hits 8th, and Alex Fernandez will play left field and bat 9th. Kirby Robertson on the mound for your Pippins in this one. We'll step away for a moment. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love. Welcome back inside Yakima County Stadium as we just wrapped up the national anthem, as you might have heard.
Pippins will get ready to take the mound now. Kirby Robertson for the Pippins will get things started. He's made 2 appearances in league play for the Pippins. He also had a pair of non-league appearances. In league play, he has a 2.76 ERA in 2 starts, 13 innings between them. His first appearance was on June 11th, the first game of the Ridgefield Series here in Yakima. Showed up that day, made his first start, went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, just one of them earned, walked 2 and struck out 4. Did not get a decision, actually has not earned a decision in either of the 2 starts in West Coast League play. His most recent start was on the 25th, the series opener against Walla Walla here at home last Friday. That one he went 7 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs. All 3 were earned that time. Walked 2 and struck out 2. No decision in that game. He left. When he left, the Pippins were leading 7-3. And the bullpen for the Pippins ended up coughing up that lead. In non-league play, he also pitched another 7 innings, giving up 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts over 2 different appearances. He did earn a win in one of those appearances against the Cascade Collegiate League All-Stars on June 20th. Just finished his 2nd year at Columbia Basin College, Kirby Robertson did. And set to make his 3rd league start for the Pippins here tonight, and he'll face off against the Port Angeles Lefties, who won the first 2 games of this series. The Pippins trying to avoid the sweep. They have not yet been swept in a series, have not been swept at home since June of 2019. Taku Kataoka will lead things off for the Port Angeles Lefties, the right fielder. Got a .421 batting average over 19 at-bats, so relatively small sample size, but has shown a ability to get on base using his speed. He also has 5 stolen bases. Here's the first pitch. That one misses outside. Mike Carr back behind the plate tonight. He was the home plate umpire in the series opener back on Tuesday. Kelly Richmond, who was behind the plate last night, is on the bases. Popped up out of play by Kataoka, and it's 1-1. Defensively for the Pippins, the alignment a little bit different. Here's the 1-1. Misses outside, and it's 2-1. At least out in the outfield, Alex Fernandez gets his first start in left field. He's made 2 starts in right field and 1 at second base so far. This is 4th start of the season. 2-1 is right on the outside corner, and it's 2-2 for the leadoff hitter Kataoka. Chase Graves in the lineup, in the position he's played every time he's played, center field. Here's the 2-2. That one misses low and away, and it's a full count. And Blake Dickman gets his first start out in the outfield. He starts in right field tonight. Here's the 3-2. Popped up out of play. Third base side, that'll go into the parking lot. So all 3 catchers on the roster for the Pippins in this game. Carpentier, who's behind the plate. Dickman out in right field, and Sam Olson, who's the DH tonight. The 3-2 misses outside, and Taku Kataoka, with his 4th walk of the season, leads off. And so here's Javi Espinoza, the second baseman tonight. Every batter in this lineup has at least 1 stolen base for the Lefties. A lot of speed in the lineup. Kirby Robertson through the stretch. Outside corner at the knees for Espinoza, and it's 0-1. Third base, Chaz Myers tonight. Connor Cabales at shortstop, and Mason Marenko, who's been sharing second base duties with his younger brother, Spencer Marenko. He's at second. Willie Lajoie at first. The 0-1 misses up high, and it's 1-1. Lajoie was in the lineup last night as the DH. He extended his hitting streak and on-base streak with a base hit in the first inning. Here's the 1-1.
Lined out to left. Fernandez with a late read on it. Now makes the catch. Not the most efficient route to the ball, but got there and made the catch. As he adjusts to the other side of the outfield, Fernandez has told me before he's comfortable playing just about anywhere on the field. Awkward read on that ball that was tailing away from him, but he found it, figured it out, and got underneath it to make the catch. So here's Coleman Schmidt, the DH. 1 out, 1 on. Pitch. Breaking ball in there. And it's 0-1. Robertson looks over at first quickly, then comes set. The 0-1. That one misses low and away. And it's 1-1. One ball, one strike. Robertson will work out of the stretch. Pitch. And it looks like that one missed inside. So 2-1 to Schmidt. Comes into this game hitting 170. Four walks to 17 strikeouts. Takes a pitch inside off the plate. And it's 3-1. Taku Kataoka led off the game with a walk, full count walk. Line out by Javi Espinoza. Taku takes off, swing and a miss. The throw goes down to second, and Taku Kataoka is thrown out by Michael Carpentier Jr., the 8th would-be base stealer that Carpentier has thrown out this season. The immense speed of Taku Kataoka, no match for the powerful arm of Michael Carpentier Jr. Kataoka was out by Cabalas had the glove and was waiting for him. That's how quickly Carpentier got that one in. This one a soft line drive that will drop into left field. So it's a base hit for Coleman Schmidt, but he's the only runner aboard after Taku Kataoka is caught stealing at second. So 2 outs, the runner on first for Garrett Lake. Taku Kataoka was 5 for 6 stealing bases up until that time. Now he's 5 for 7. First pitch misses low inside to the lefty Garrett Lake, and it's 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That one chopper first base side and foul. It's 1-1. Carpentier had shown just a prolific ability to throw out base runners. Really the only speed bump he hit was he took some time off to heal up his hand. He was dealing with a hand issue. Came back in Ridgefield and just kind of wasn't on altogether. Throws back down to first, and Lajoie has to stay away from the bag in order to catch the ball. So in safely, but called a strike to Garrett Lake. It's 1-2. But when he's on Carpentier, it's almost impossible to run on him. That ball handled well by Garrett Lake. It'll stay fair, and it's a 2-run home run for Garrett Lake, and the Lefties take a 2-0 lead here in the top of the first. That was about as no doubt as it gets to right field. Garrett Lake with his 5th home run of the season gives the Lefties their first lead of the game. Always like to play the hypotheticals game. If Taku Kataoka doesn't try to steal second base, that's a 3-run home run. Here's Shea Thomas, who bats with 2 outs and nobody on. The first pitch gets past Carpentier as a curveball. I don't know whether that bounced off of Mike Carr's foot or Carpentier's gear. 1-0 taken for a called strike, and it's 1-1. Top of the first inning, 2 outs, and the Lefties just took a 2-0 lead on the 2-run home run. So it's 2-1 to Shea Thomas as he takes a ball. Lefties last night were dealing with Kenny Johnson trying to quick pitch them most of the night. Grounder up the middle to Kobalas, and he does not pick that one cleanly up off the dirt. So Shea Thomas aboard with an error. And I feel like I've said this before many times on the broadcast, but the Pippins have to put that one away. Don't let it snowball. They allowed 4 errors, or committed 4 errors, in the first inning of Tuesday's game that allowed 6 runs to score. The Pippins would never be able to claw back from that deficit. First pitch to Trevor Tashenko popped up in the infield. Willie Lajoie over near the pitcher's mound and makes the catch for out number 3. So they do get past the error, but 2 runs on the board after the 2-run home run by Garrett Lake. We head to the bottom of the first. Lefties lead 2-0. We'll be right back. You're tuning into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires. Proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. The Lefties took a 2-0 lead on a 2-run home run by Garrett Lake. Taku Kataoka led off the top of the first with a walk. Javier Espinoza lined out to left field, and then Kataoka thrown out trying to steal second base before Coleman Schmidt singled, and Garrett Lake hit that 2-run home run. Shea Thomas reached on an error by Connor Kobalas, but Trevor Tashenko flew out to Willie Lajoie right next to the pitcher's mound. So just the 2 runs for the Lefties, and the Pippins will look to respond here in the bottom of the first. They'll start with Chaz Myers, Connor Kobalas, and Michael Carpentier Jr. First pitch from Riley Agson is flown to center field. Garrett Lake zigzagged his way into shallow center to make the catch for out number 1. Agson, the starter tonight for the Port Angeles Lefties. His first appearance with the Lefties out of Mount Hood Community College. Kobalas will hit now, hitting .226 on the season, but has 10 walks, which is in a 3-way tie for the lead on the team in walks. He also has the most stolen bases for the Pippins with 5. The wind begins to pick up. The 1-0 to Kobalas. Up high, and it's 2-0. The 2-0 from Agson is low and away. It's 3-0. The wind sort of variable out in the outfield. The flags have mostly been dead, but just now a little bit of gust from left to right. But here in the infield. Press box, of course, stationed behind home plate. The wind blowing almost in and changing speeds constantly. The 3-0 is on the outside corner for a strike to Kobalas. Axon through the windup. Here's the 3-1. Tailing into right field, a fly ball caught by Taku Kataoka. So 2 fly ball outs for the Pippins to start off this game. Riley Axon, unconventional windup for the right-hander. Stands on the rubber, looks for the sign with his foot in contact with the rubber all the way on the first base side. And his first step with his left foot is backwards instead of to the side, as would be a sort of traditional windup. His hands also come apart earlier in the windup than would be potentially considered standard. 0-1 lined off the other way out of play by Carpentier Jr. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Axon. That one low in the dirt and taken for a ball. It's 1-2. Carpentier has never hit higher than the 5th spot in the batting order. Finds himself hitting 3rd here tonight. Here's the 1-2. Another one that bounces in, and it's 2-2. Sam Olson back in. He was ejected from Tuesday night's game, so could not play last night. Gets the start here tonight as the DH. Here's the 2-2 to Carpentier. Another fly ball to center, tailing towards left. Trevor Tashenkel racing forward and makes the catch. The wind looks like it'll be a character here today, but the Lefties able to contend with it in the bottom of the first. 3 flyouts for the Pippins. The Lefties lead 2-0 when we return for the 2nd inning. You're tuning into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Welcome back to the Orchard. Chris Rosato Jr. bringing you all of the action for the Yakima Valley Pippins this season. Pippins and Lefties wrap up the 3-game series here in Yakima tonight. Fireworks after the game presented by Banner Bank. Also, the first 1,000 fans received a souvenir red, white, and blue hat. And it is Thursday, so it's Thirsty Thursday presented by Northwest Peanut Company and Iron Horse Brewing. Tomorrow, the Pippins take off for a 6-game road trip that will culminate in their last games as part of the first half here in West Coast League play. They'll head to Bend for 3 days, Friday through Sunday, and then to Walla Walla Monday through Wednesday. So no off day in between the 2 series for the Pippins. It's straight from Bend to Walla Walla. Always can be a little tough. Second inning of tonight's game brought to you by Yakima Pediatric Dentistry, located at 3909 Creekside Loop in Yakima. Yakima Pediatric Dentistry offers specialized care for infants, kids, and teens in a safe, fun environment for children as they begin their lifetime journey to maintaining a healthy smile. Kirby Robertson delivers the 1-0 pitch. Fly ball to right field. Blake Dickman back near the warning track and makes the catch for out number 1. Dickman has not played in the outfield here for the Pippins this season. Jack Holman will bat second in this inning. 1 out, nobody on. 7, 8, and 9 to start this inning for the Lefties. Robertson threw the windup, the pitch. Fly ball to center. Chase Graves was moving back, now racing forward and makes the catch at his chest for out number 2. The wind, like I said, in the bottom half of the first inning seems to be playing a role here tonight. So a lot of first reads end up being wrong for these outfielders. But the Pippins gave a fly ball to each of the Lefties outfielders, a little bit of practice for them in the bottom of the first. Here's the first pitch to Nick Oakley, taken for a called ball. Oakley 2 for 9 on the season, pair of stolen bases. Here's the 1-0. That one misses low and away. It's 2-0. Robertson looking to get out of this inning 1-2-3. After the 2 runs given up in the first inning, here's the 2-0 from Robertson. That one misses high and outside, and it's 3-0 to the shortstop, Oakley. Robertson, the 3-0, swung on and fouled off by Nick Oakley, who was swinging on the 3-0 count. Every team has a little bit different approach to things. The Pippins tend to tell their batters to take on 3-0. Here's the 3-1. And that one, backdoor breaking ball that does not come back in. So it's a 5-pitch walk to Nick Oakley. And Taku Kataoka will bat for the second time tonight. Walked back in the first and was caught stealing second by Michael Carpentier Jr. Nick Oakley on first base. Grounder over to Lajoie, who will underhand to Kirby Robertson. Steps on the bag for out number 3, and the Pippins do get out of things despite the walk issued to Nick Oakley. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Lefties lead 2-0. You tune into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
And checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
The cloud of uncertainty!
Enough! With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be gone, Cloud!
Oh! Wait! Ah!
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
Ooh. And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Wow!
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium.
Welcome to the Ice Dome.
Claw their way back. They trailed 2-0 after the 2-run home run by Garrett Lake in the top of the first inning. Here we are in the bottom of the second. That is the score, 2-0. Riley Agson will head back out for a second inning of work. Went 3 up, 3 down in the first inning. Sam Olson will lead things off for the Pippins. It will be 4, 5, and 6. Olson, Lajoie, and Mason Marenko to lead things off. First pitch from Agson, grounded just inside the first base bag and under the glove of Shea Thomas. That ball will roll into the corner and underneath the fence. It's a ground rule double for Sam Olson. A little bit of advantage for the Pippins as Olson obviously not intentionally rolling it underneath the fence, but in the corners just foul of the foul poles. Those fences don't go all the way to the floor. or all the way down to the warning track on both sides. And so if you roll a grounder down underneath those fences, you can end up with a double. Probably would have had a chance to go 2 on that play regardless. But ends up heading there without liability to be put out. Conversation between Olsen and Kelly. Richmond out at second, I think because Richmond didn't call timeout as quickly as Olsen wanted, and Willie Lajoie hit on the shoulder with the first pitch. So 2 pitches and 2 runners on. Runners on first and second. Mason Marenko will bat, hitting .214 in league play. 1 double for him. He does have 6 RBI on the season. Olsen on second, Lajoie on first. Marenko squares around to bunt, but pops it up, and it's caught by the catcher, Jack Holman. The Pippins runners had their heads up and did not take off for third, so Mason Marenko attempts to move the runners over. Instead is a easy fly ball out on the bunt. So 1 out and the runners where they were for Blake Dickman, hitting .320 on the season, was last night's Cascade Natural Gas High Efficiency Player of the Game. First 2-time High Efficiency Player of the Game that we've had on the Pippins post-game show presented by Cascade Natural Gas. We post that on our YouTube page every night as soon after the game as possible, which depends on the game, depends on the night. But you can always check it out the morning after at least. The first pitch breaking ball taken by Blake Dickman for a called strike. The first time Blake Dickman was our Cascade Natural Gas High Efficiency Player of the Game, he gave a shout out to his mom as Dickman hits one right into the press box. Just to the right of my booth. As I was saying, the first time he was on our post-game show, Blake Dickman gave a shout out to his mom. Gave her credit for his offensive performance that night. Here's the 0-2. Chopper, third base side, pulled foul, and it's still 0-2. On last night's Pippins post-game show, we changed tune a little bit. As I've mentioned before on the broadcast, Blake Dickman, a pretty big Will Ferrell fan, asked him about his favorite Will Ferrell movie and even got him to recreate his favorite Will Ferrell movie moment. If you want to see that, you'll have to check out our Pippins post-game show. Posted on our YouTube page right now, featuring Blake Dickman from last night. And he's hit on the middle of the bat with an 0-2 count. And that loads the bases for the Pippins with 1 out. And here's Chase Graves. Chase, who had been experiencing a bit of a slump. And a few games ago, ended up walking twice and getting hit by a pitch in a game. And then the next game out, had a base hit, his first in a while. Felt like he broke his slump there. And we'll see what he does with the bases loaded and 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Pippins trailed 2-0. First pitch called a strike. Chase didn't think it was going to be. Here's the 0-1 from Agson. That one way outside, and it's 1-1. Agson working out of the windup with the bases loaded. Home plate umpire Mike Carr has been on top of all of the batters today about keeping up the pace. Here's the 1-1. And that one was high. It might have come down, but Jack Holman popped out of the crouch. He was crossed up, expecting a fastball, so he saw the ball start high and jumped up, but the ball ended up breaking down. And timeout called by the Port Angeles Lefties, as Scott Kelly will head out for a quick conversation. Sam Olson led off the bottom of the second inning with a ground rule double, a hard hit grounder just inside the first base bag that Shea Thomas didn't stop. It rolled all the way down into the right field corner, or the foul side of the right field corner, where there's a gate out there that they move the batting cage, the backstop for batting practice, in through, as well as the entrance players take to get out to the batting cages out in center field. That gate does not go all the way down to the floor, so it rolled underneath that. Olson had a double. Willie Lajoie was hit by a pitch. Mason Marenko popped up a bunt and was the first out. And then Blake Dickman with an 0-2 count, he was hit by a pitch. So here's Chase Graves now with a 2-2 count after swinging through a fastball. And Agson after the talk delivers the 2-2. That one misses outside, and it's a full count. That pitch looked like it might have been close, too. Holman a little bit jumpy. Looked like it had a chance of potentially getting called on the outside corner if Holman freezes that one there. The 3-2 popped up out of play by Graves. Lefties took a 2-0 lead on the 2-run home run by Garrett Lake back in the top of the first. They find themselves with the bases loaded and one out. Here's the payoff pitch again to Chase Graves. Swing and a miss at a pitch down low. And he goes down swinging. First strikeout of the night for Riley Agson. And Alex Fernandez will get his chance. Just his fourth start on the year for the Pippins. 2 in right field, 1 at second base. Bats with the bases loaded and 2 outs as the Pippins look to even the score, perhaps take the lead, trailing 2-0. First pitch low, and it's 1-0. He's 2 for 9 on the year so far. Scored twice. Has a walk as well. Here's the 1-0 from Agson. Got a piece of it, but tips it back into the glove, and it's 1-1. Agson looks back in. Here's the 1-1. That one misses low, and this time Fernandez lays off. It's 2-1. Lefties came into this game, into this series at the bottom of the North Division. They've skyrocketed into third place. The 2-1 is popped out of play by Fernandez, and it's 2-2. Mentioned it from the very beginning of Tuesday night's game that although the Lefties were at the bottom of the division, they played the least number of games. They had a long way to go. They had a lot of games they could still win to move up the division. They won the last 2 and find themselves in third place at 6-8. Agson. Here's the 2-2. That one fouled off as well by Fernandez. The count remains the same. Pippins at the top of the North Division with a 10-7 record after the 2 losses over the last couple of days. Walla Walla still in second place with an 8-9 record. The Pippins will see Walla Walla will finish the first half against Walla Walla in Walla Walla starting on Monday. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, and Alex Fernandez goes down swinging. So 2 strikeouts with the bases loaded ends the inning for the Pippins. They leave the bases loaded. We head to the third, Lefties leading 2-0. We'll be right back. You're tuned in to Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium for the top of the third inning. The Port Angeles Lefties leading 2-0. The Pippins had the bases loaded with one out in the bottom of the second, but two consecutive strikeouts thrown by Riley Agson got him out of that inning. The Pippins strand the bases loaded, and into the third we go. First pitch to Javi Espinoza, taken high and outside for a ball. Here's the 1-0. Softly popped up into shallow center field. Mason Marenko on the run and makes the catch a few steps onto the outfield grass behind second base for out number 1. Mason Marenko covered a lot of ground on that one. Coleman Schmidt will bat with one out and nobody on. Schmidt singled back in the first and scored on the home run by Garrett Lake. First pitch right over the heart of the plate, called strike one to Coleman Schmidt. Schmidt with a 185 batting average, raised by the hit in the first. The 0-1 is fouled back to the netting, and it's 0-2. Robertson into his third inning of work. Here's the 0-2. Another foul ball by Coleman Schmidt. In 2 innings, he's walked 2 and given up 2 hits. 2 runs on that home run back in the first. Here's the 0-2 again to Schmidt. Breaking ball frozen, but taken just low for a ball. So 1 ball and 2 strikes now for Coleman Schmidt, the DH here tonight. The pitch swung on and missed that time, and he goes down swinging. First strikeout of the night for Kirby Robertson, gets the second out of the top of the third. So here's Garrett Lake as the Pippins move the defense, shaded slightly to the right with the left-hander Garrett Lake up. First pitch misses outside. Lake took a pitch on the inside half of the plate, just turned right on it. High fly ball to right. The 1-0. Outside corner just misses low, and it's 2-0. Robertson tries again, the 2-0. That one misses low, and it's 3-0 to Garrett Lake. Robertson behind 3-0 through the windup. Here's the pitch. That one inside, and he walks Garrett Lake on 4 straight pitches with 2 outs. So up will step Shea Thomas, who grounded to Connor Kobalas and reached on the error by Kobalas. Only error of the game for the Pippins thus far. Only error of the game between either team so far here in the top of the third. 2 outs. Garrett Lake on first for Shea Thomas. The first pitch, breaking ball at the top of the zone, stayed high, and it's 1-0. Robertson a glance at first. Lake started but then stopped, and the pitch misses inside. It's 2-0. Lake on first base, 3 for 4 stealing bases so far this season. Carpentier Jr. already threw out Taku Kataoka. Slider in there that time, and it's 2-1 for Shea Thomas. Here's the 2-1. That one a delayed strike call by Mike Carr. Garrett Lake continues to feign running over at first. I think he's just trying to stay in the head of Kirby Robertson. Here's the 2-2. That one misses up high, and the count is full. So full count for Shea Thomas, 2 outs, and Garrett Lake on first. Here's the payoff pitch, runner going, fouls it off himself in the batter's box. Came up hobbling. Pippins wearing their white uniforms here tonight, green hats. The lefties in their blue uniforms with orange piping and white as well. The numbers outlined in orange, but the numbers themselves are white, and gray pants. Blue hats for the Port Angeles Lefties. So here's the 3-2 again, swung on and missed, and 2 strikeouts in the inning for Kirby Robertson. His first 2 of the game gets him out of the third. We head to the bottom of the third. Pippins trail 2-0. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires. Proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Welcome back inside the orchard. Chris Rosado Jr. Happy to have you along either on YouTube if you're watching there or on Mixlr Audio. On Mixlr Audio for every game of the season, including when the team goes on the road. Tomorrow night's game, 6:35 p.m. in Bend. 6:35 on Saturday and 5:05 on Sunday, July the 4th. In Bend. Then the Pippins will take off for Walla Walla. Chaz Myers, the top of the order, will lead things off for the Pippins here in the third inning. Takes the first pitch up high for a ball. A 1-0 as the wind kicks up again. Some dust in the air now, and it's 1-1 to Chaz Myers after he takes the strike. Pippins went 3 up, 3 down in the first, but then sent 6 batters to the plate in the second inning as Myers lays off a breaking ball up high. It's 2-1. Pippins loaded the bases with 1 out in the bottom of the second inning, but ended up stranding him there after 2 straight strikeouts. The 2-1, he takes curveball that drops right in, and it's 2-2. 2-2, up high and taken, and it's now a full count for Chaz Myers. Flew out to center on the first pitch he saw back in the bottom of the first inning. Works deep into the account here. Payoff pitch to the leadoff batter, Myers. Up high, and he walks to start the bottom of the third. First walk issued by Riley Agson. He did hit 2 batters in the second to help the Pippins load the bases. Pippins over the last 2 days just have not put together the kind of offense that we're accustomed to seeing. Had 6 hits on Tuesday and 7 hits last night. First pitch to Connor Cabales is popped up behind home plate. Looks like it's tailing back out of play into the grandstands, and it does drop out of play. So 0-1 for Connor Cabales. Chaz Myers on first, a lefty getting loose out in Port Angeles' bullpen. The 0-1 to Cobales, taken for a called strike, and it's 0-2. Here's the 0-2. That one misses low, and Cobales with a 1-2 count. Cobales, plenty of speed. Mentioned it before, does not have an extra base hit so far this season. A 1-2 swung at a chopper third base side. It will stay fair on the grass, and Connor Cobales on with an infield base hit. He got to first before the third baseman, Carson Crawford, even got to the ball. They picked it up and threw to second, but Chaz Myers was just a step off the bag, so he got back in safely. That puts runners on first and second for Michael Carpentier Jr., who bats for the second time. He also flew out in the first inning. He's got 8 RBI on the season, 2 runners aboard, nobody out here for the Pippins in the bottom of the third inning. Had the same situation in the bottom of the second. Mason Marenko was asked to lay down a bunt, instead popped up to the catcher for out number 1. Chaz Myers catching the attention of Agson out at second base, as he tends to do with pitchers. He likes to dance around, move his feet a lot. And now timeout called by Carpentier, who's got some dirt in his eyes. Mentioned the dust picking up here in Yakima with the wind blowing. Here's the first pitch to Carpentier. That one hit high to right, but will be pulled just foul. Had the distance, just was a little bit too far out in front of it. A breaking ball by Riley Agson. Saw Carpentier hit one just like that back in the bottom of the 15th inning of Sunday night's game for a 2-run home run that tied the game up and sent it to the 16th. Swings at one's in the dirt, and it's 0-2 for the catcher, Carpentier. Runners on first and second, no outs, no balls, and 2 strikes for Carpentier, hitting out of the 3 spot here tonight. Olson hitting fourth with Williamson out of the lineup, and Lajoie moved down to the 5th spot. Here's the 0-2. That one low and away, and it's 1-2 after the take by Michael Carpentier Jr. Plenty of power potential. He's hit 2 home runs this season, also has a double and a triple, Carpentier does. Shortstop Nick Oakley was and I believe Michael Carpentier Jr. was just awarded a ball. I'm not certain. That Mike Carr came out of the crouch behind home plate and signaled to his wrist. Carpentier grounder through the right side. Javier Espinoza scoops it up over to first. It gets past Shea Thomas. Coming home to score is Chaz Myers. Connor Cobales will move over to second. Michael Carpentier Jr. on with the base hit. He got stepped on by Shea Thomas. And the Pippins score their first run of the game after the error by Javi Espinoza. Espinoza saved the run by getting to it, preventing it from rolling all the way into right field. If he had just ate it, the bases would be loaded with no outs, and instead tried to make the throw to first. And he got past Shea Thomas. It is an infield base hit for Michael Carpentier Jr. The first pitch to Sam Olson taken just below the knees. It's ball 1. And Myers scored on the error by the second baseman. Here's the 1-0. Olson ground ball to Nick Oakley over to second. They turn to first in time for the double play, but Cobales scores from second to tie the game at 2.
So the lefties turn the double play, but with no outs. With no outs, the run able to score from third. The Pippins tie things up. And Willie Lajoie bats with 2 outs and nobody on. First pitch was taken for a ball. Here's the pitch from Agson. This is low and away, and it's 2-0. And again goes back to that play by Javi Espinoza. If he holds on to that ball, the run doesn't score. The bases are loaded. If they turn that double play, the Pippins would have just scored their first run of the game. There'd be a runner on third with 2 outs, and the lefties would still be up 2-1. Third ball taken by Lajoie. Here's the 3-0 from Agson. That one over the outside corner, and it's 3-1. So the lefties so far robbed themselves of a run and given up an extra run. The 3-1 taken on the outside corner. Lajoie tossed his bat away too early. He'll step back in with the count full. Umpire like Mike Carr. I mean, to be fair to Carr, he was calling that a strike regardless of whatever Lajoie was going to do. The 3-2 breaking ball inside corner, and Lajoie rung up. So the first 2 runners aboard. Carpentier singles and benefits from the error, allowing Chaz Myers to score the first run of the game. And then the double play allows Cobalis to score from third. The Pippins tie the game at 2. We'll be back for the 4th inning. Tied at 2. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Top of the 4th inning, it will be 6, 7, and 8 for the Port Angeles Lefties. Tonight's 4th inning. Brought to you by the Yakima Herald Republic. For all game reports and news about the Pippins, read the Yakima Herald Republic either in print or online. The Yakima Herald Republic, they tell the Pippins stories. And right now, the story for the Pippins, really the story for the Port Angeles Lefties is 2-run home run hit by Garrett Lake could possibly have been a 3-run home run if Taku Kataoka hadn't tested the arm of Michael Carpentier Jr. and was thrown out shortly before the base hit and home run in the top of the first. So the lefties took a 2-0 lead. And then in the third, an error by Javi Espinoza allowed a run to score and Cobalis to move over to third, which would then let him score on the double play turned by the lefties. So instead of having 3 runs, they have 2, and instead of giving up 1 in the inning, they give up 2. So the game tied at 2 here in the top of the 4th. 1 ball, 1 strike for Trevor Tashenkel, who leads things off for the lefties. That one bounces on the outside, and it's 2-1. Kirby Robertson in 3 innings so far has walked 3, struck out the first 2 batters of the game in the 3rd inning. First 2 batters of his appearance in the 3rd inning. He's given up 2 hits and the 2 runs on that home run in the first. Here's the 2-1. Backdoor breaking ball doesn't come back over, and it's 3-1. A 3-1 lined third base side will bounce fair and roll into the Pippins bullpen.
Alex Fernandez over to it. The throw gets cut off on its way to second, and Trevor Tashenko with a leadoff double here in the top of the fourth. Second extra base hit for the Lefties here in this game. Third hit of the night for him. So here's Carson Crawford, who bats from the right side. Tashenko on second base, and no outs in the top of the fourth. The game tied back up at 2. First pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Crawford playing third base tonight. Came into the game hitting .308 in 26 at-bats. 7 runs and 6 RBI. Here's the 0-1, another breaking ball that froze him, and he takes it inside for strike 2. Robertson working out of the stretch, looks back at second. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed, and Carson Crawford goes down on 3 pitches. It's the third strikeout of the night for Kirby Robertson. Here's Jack Holman, who flew out to center field back in the second inning. 1 out here in the top of the fourth inning. 2-2 score here in Yakima. Robertson looks back at second, then delivers another curveball to start off the at-bat to Holman. Pitching backwards here against Carson Crawford and Jack Holman, the righty and now the lefty. Comes set quickly. Holman was just getting in, so he puts his hand up. Pippins pitchers known for keeping the pace up. Kenny Johnson was working through the windup quickly last night. Here's the 0-1. That one at the knees for a called strike. Mike Carr had to think about that pitch a little bit, but gives it to Kirby Robertson. So no balls and 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the fourth. The runner on second base. Pitch. Swung on and missed, and 2 straight strikeouts, both taking just 3 pitches. And that will bring up the bottom of the order, Nick Oakley, who walked in his first plate appearance back in the second inning. Pippins will have 6, 7, and 8 due up in the bottom half of the fourth inning as they look to take the lead for the first time tonight. The first pitch to Oakley, another backdoor curveball in there for a called strike. Oakley the lefty. And again, Kirby Robertson continues to pitch backwards, throwing first and second pitch curveballs, and then attacks on the 0-2 with a fastball. Here's the 0-1. Another breaking ball, swung at and missed, and it's 0-2 for Nick Oakley. Gave up a leadoff double and hasn't thrown a ball since. Robertson working out of the stretch, comes set. Here's the 0-2. That one misses up high. Just a little too high, just a little too outside for Kirby Robertson. Not a pitch that Oakley was tempted by. Trevor Tashenko stands on second. Here's the 1-2. Backdoor curveball that nobody was home on, and it's 2-2. Lefties scored their 2 runs back in the first inning. Haven't scored yet. 2 outs in the fourth. Here's the 2-2. Popped up out of play by Nick Oakley. Longest at bat of the inning so far for the Lefties. The 4th batter to step to the plate.
So here's the 2-2 again. Grounder to Kobalas in the glove clean, across the diamond, low, but caught by Willie Lajoie for out number 3. So 2 more strikeouts for Kirby Robertson. That's 4 through 4 innings. We head to the bottom of the 4th, tied at 2. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Riley Agson will pitch in the bottom of the 4th inning. Through 3 innings so far, he's given up 3 hits, 2 runs, none of them earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and has hit 2 Pippins batters. He will face Mason Marenko, Blake Dickman, and Chase Graves to lead off the bottom of the 4th. Mason Marenko, first plate appearance, was asked to lay down a sacrifice bunt with the first 2 runners aboard. Sam Olson, who had a ground rule double, and Willie Lajoie, who was hit by a pitch on the shoulder. Mason Marenko connected on the bunt but popped it up in the infield, and it was caught by the catcher, Jack Holman. Fouled off the first pitch here in the bottom of the 4th and takes pitch number 2 for a ball. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike for Mason Marenko. The pitch from Agson. Grounder to Nick Oakley at short. Makes the throw across to first in time, and Mason Marenko retired. Oakley's feet were moving as he fielded that ball at shortstop. Didn't have his feet set despite him being behind the ball. But managed to get his feet set in time for the throw and made a strong, accurate throw over to first in time. So here's Blake Dickman, who was hit by a pitch back in the 2nd inning. Loaded the bases with 1 out for the Pippins in that inning, but 2 strikeouts in a row ended the inning and ended the threat. Pippins would have to wait until the bottom of the 3rd inning to finally tie the game at 2, thanks in part to the error by second baseman Javi Espinoza. Here's the 0-1 to Blake Dickman, popped up, foul and out of play on the right field side. So it's 0-2 for the right fielder tonight, Blake Dickman. Timeout called as Axon started his windup a little too soon. Here's the 0-2 again. That one in the dirt. Dickman almost started his swing but stayed back, and it's 1-2. Dickman hitting .320 on the season. 2 runs, 4 RBI. He's got a pair of doubles, the 1-2, and that hit him. That's the 3rd batter of the game that Riley Agson has hit. So Dickman on at first after getting hit with a 1-2 count. Here's Chase Graves, who struck out in his first at-bat. He has 10 walks on the season. I mentioned earlier Kobalas with 10 walks, tied for first on the team. Graves, one of the other 2 players with 10 walks. Fly ball to deep right field. Taku Kataoka back at the wall, looks up, and that ball is gone. Chase Graves I would say that slump is over. A 2-run home run to the opposite field. His second of the season gives the Pippins a 4-2 lead in the bottom of the 4th inning. Shades of opening night when Chase Graves went deep to right field. He was the hero that night against Corvallis. And that will be the end of the day for Riley Agson after Chase Graves hits a 2-run home run following the 3rd hit batter. That put Blake Dickman on first. The Pippins take a 4-2 lead. We'll be back with a new pitcher. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
And checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
The cloud of uncertainty!
Enough! With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be gone, Cloud!
Oh! Wait!
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
Ooh. And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Wow!
Ben, you don't even live here anymore? Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting.
Come on. Welcome to the Ice Dome.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Corey Sanchez, a left-hander who's been warming up in the bullpen since last inning. Took a break in between. Was quick to get warm here in the 4th, especially after Agson hit his 3rd batter of the game. Put Blake Dickman on first, and Chase Graves hits an opposite field home run to right field. 2-run home run to give the Pippins a 4-2 lead here in the bottom of the 4th. So Alex Fernandez will bat with 1 out and nobody on as the lefty Sanchez takes over. Sanchez came into the game last night for the Lefties in the 9th inning. A bunt fouled off by Fernandez. Looks like it got a piece of Mike Carr. Sanchez pinch hit actually for Luke Saunders in the top of the 9th inning last night. Struck out against Connor Wilson. Here's the 0-1 to Alex Fernandez. This time does not square around and takes strike 2. Fernandez struck out in his first at-bat here tonight in the 2nd inning. The 0-2 checks his swing and called strike on the low outside corner. Fernandez, I'm not sure. I think he was turning around and giving Chaz Myers some notes about what he saw out of Corey Sanchez. Didn't like that call low and away. That was a borderline call, but 0-2 count. Could really go either way, and this time it went the lefties' way. First pitch to Chaz Myers, his 3rd plate appearance of the game. Swing and a miss. The 0-1 from Corey Sanchez, inside and taken for a ball. Sanchez works out of the windup, and when he's waiting for the sign, he has his glove and his hand both on his left hip. The 1-1 popped up right side just onto the outfield grass. Shea Thomas calling for it and makes the catch near the line.
Another one that the wind got a hold of and made him dance around a little bit, but he does make the catch for out number 3. So Corey Sanchez comes on after the 2-run home run and gets the 2 more outs in the 4th. We head to the 5th. Pippins now lead 4-2. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Welcome back to the Orchard. Chris Rosato Jr. calling the action here at Yakima County Stadium and wherever the Yakima Valley Pippins happen to be playing throughout this summer. It will be the top of the order for the Port Angeles Lefties in the top of the 5th. Kirby Robertson will head back out for a 4th inning of work. He's struck out 4 batters. 3 hits for the Lefties in this game so far. 3 walks as well for Kirby Robertson. 1 in each of the first 3 innings, none back in the 4th. Taku Kataoka trying to slap a bunt down the first base side and fouls it back off of Michael Carpentier Jr. behind the plate. He was committed to that bunt. I mean, it was up high, and he still threw his bat at it, tried to push it down the first base line. So here's the 0-1. Breaking ball that apparently just dropped out of the zone, and it's 1-1 for Taku Kataoka. 2 at-bats or 2 plate appearances in this game. Walked in the first, grounded out to first in the second. That pitch misses over in the right-handed batter's box. It's 2-1 to Kataoka. Javier Espinoza on deck, as well as Coleman Schmidt. 2-1, swung on and missed. Even count now, 2-2 for Kataoka, the right fielder here tonight for the Port Angeles Lefties. Came on as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning of last night's game. That one misses inside, and the count is full. Was his first appearance of the series when he pinch hit last night. Was immediately replaced on defense for the bottom of the 8th. The payoff pitch. Outside corner, taking strike 3. Taku Kataoka goes down looking for out number 1 in the 5th on a very generous call low and away from Mike Carr, perhaps a makeup call for the strikeout to Alex Fernandez. That one appeared at least to be off the plate. First pitch taken for a strike by Javi Espinoza. Whether it was at the knees or below, impossible to tell from up here, but just left to right, it did look like it might have been outside. The 0-1 is a backdoor curveball that would have hit a right-hander, so it's 1-1 for the lefty Espinoza. A 1-1 just below the knees. Carpentier tried to grab it, keep it at the knees, but not called. So 2 balls and 1 strike for Javi Espinoza. The pitch lined into center field. Chase Graves racing to his left, makes the catch on the run for out number 2.
Wind blowing left to right here at Yakima County Stadium, at least out in the outfield for the time being. The wind has changed speeds and direction all throughout the night. So 2 outs and nobody on as the first 2 batters, a strikeout and a line out. And here's Coleman Schmidt, the DH tonight, who's 1 for 2 with a base hit and a strikeout. Was the first strikeout of the game for Kirby Robertson back in the 3rd inning. Here's the first pitch. Front door breaking ball in there for a called strike. Pippins trying to avoid the sweep. They have not been swept yet this season. Lost the first 2 games to the Lefties. Here's the 0-1. Fouled off the mask of Michael Carpentier Jr. And it's 0-2 to Coleman Schmidt. Pippins have not lost the first 2 games of a series so far this season. They did lose the series to Ridgefield. It was the first series loss that they experienced, but they won the first game of that series. Ridgefield won the last 2. The 0-2 lined high into left field. Alex Fernandez was racing back, now comes forward and it bounces in front of him. He'll put a ball on the line to second base, tagged by Mason Marenko in time. So Coleman Schmidt with the base hit thrown out at second by Alex Fernandez, who made a perfect throw from left field, and Schmidt tagged out by Mason Marenko. So 3 up and 3 down, albeit unconventionally. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Pippins lead 4-2. You tune into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. The umpires were asked by the Lefties to come together and have a conversation about that play out at second base, and had a much longer conversation than they had any time the Pippins asked for help back on Tuesday, but ultimately decided that Coleman Schmidt was out at second base. The ball easily beat him by Mason Marenko. I think where the argument stemmed from the Lefties was that Mason Marenko made the catch and the tag, but then tagged Schmidt a couple more times as he was on the bag, and sometimes that sort of can relay to an umpire or to coaches that he thought he missed the tag the first time. And so when that happens, the coaches, just want to say, well, obviously he missed if he's trying to tag more than one time. But Kelly Richmond, the field umpire, said that he saw the tag the first time in time, or might have seen Coleman Schmidt come off the bag. He didn't signal that, but whatever he saw Schmidt get tagged while he was not touching second base. So it's a base hit for Schmidt with 2 outs, but gets thrown out at second as Alex Fernandez misplayed the fly ball, but then threw out Schmidt at second, just like they draw it up in practice. Sends us to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Pippins leading 4-2. It will be Connor Cabales, Michael Carpentier Jr., and Sam Olson who leads things off in the bottom of the 5th. Cabales had a base hit in his last at-bat. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Right-hander against the lefty Corey Sanchez. The pitch bounces away, and it's 1-0.
Sanchez, who came on after Chase Graves hit the 2-run home run to give the Pippins a 4-2 lead in the 4th inning. That one over the plate, and it's 1-1. Came on with 1 out and nobody on, struck out Alex Fernandez looking, and then induced the fly out by Chaz Myers. The 1-1 called strike to Cobalis, so it's 1-2. Through the windup, and here's the 1-2. Soft grounder right side. Javi Espinoza charging forward, makes the throw on the run, and over the head of Shea Thomas. So Connor Cobalis safe at first on the infield base hit. Second hit of the night for Cobalis. See if they give the error to Espinoza on a really almost impossible play. They do give Cobalis the single. Espinoza was racing towards home plate when he fielded the ball and had to throw on the run to his left. And luckily for the lefties, the out of play area as you go further down the lines gets smaller and smaller. So first pitch to Michael Carpentier Jr. outside for a called ball. Carpentier had the ball hit at Javi Espinoza. That was going to be a base hit through the right side before Espinoza cut it off. Ball taken by Carpentier, and it's 2-0. But then Espinoza still tried to get the out at first, ended up throwing it away, allowing the runners to advance. Chaz Myers scored, and Cobalis moved to third. And then Cobalis scored when Sam Olson grounded into a double play. Called strike for Carpentier. It's 2-1. Cobalis on first base. He has 5 stolen bases on the season. 2-1. Lined to the netting above the Pippins dugout, and it's 2-2. The lefty Corey Sanchez and the Pippins, I think, a little bit still traumatized by the pickoff move from Caden Lewis last night, the left-hander. So Cobalis being extra cautious. That foul ball just to the right of the bag got past the glove of Shea Thomas, but was just foul. So the Pippins reset. 2-2 count for Michael Carpentier Jr. with Cobalis on first. As I was saying, Cobalis being extra cautious over at first base, making sure Corey Sanchez is not going to throw over. Sanchez looks at first. Here's the 2-2. Fouled off the end of the bat by Carpentier just to stay alive. Sanchez, when he delivers, he doesn't bring his lead foot all the way down towards home plate. It's angled a little bit towards the first base side, which I would imagine is intentional to help when he does make the move to first. He's also set up with a closed stance towards first base. He throws over to first this time, picked his leg straight up and stepped towards first. 2-2. Probably not his best pickoff move. No outs. Cobalis on first. The 2-2 to Carpentier. Fouled back to the netting, and the count remains 2-2. Sam Olson trying to give a fan a souvenir to take home with a foul ball. The 2-2. Again, this time another hard hit grounder just to the right of the first base bag, and Carpentier trying to thread that needle on the first base side. Shea Thomas holding Connor Cobalis on at first, but hasn't shown great glove range over at first base so far. So still 2-2 count for the catcher Carpentier with Cobalis on first. No outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pippins up by 2. Cobalis takes off. Grounder up the middle. Nick Oakley didn't field it cleanly. Didn't have enough time to step on the bag with Cobalis stealing second. He throws to first, and Carpentier is retired for the first out. Cobalis moves over. They benefit in a way from the hit and run, but also there's a potential that Oakley doesn't get to that ball at all.
if he's not moving to cover the bag on the steal by Kobalas. So here's Sam Olson, who's 1 for 2 tonight. Had ground rule double back in the second inning. Grounded into a double play that scored a run in the third. Scored the tying run in the third inning. First pitch to him. Taken at the knees for a called strike. Lefties scored 2 back in the top of the first inning. Pippins scored 2 in the bottom of the third and another 2 in the bottom of the fourth. And Kobalas caught off second base, now gets himself into a rundown between second and third. He thought he avoided the tag of the third baseman Carson Crawford, but called out by Kelly Richmond. Backspin move from Corey Sanchez caught Kobalas off guard completely. He had taken his secondary, tried to turn back to second, and then realized he was hung out to dry, so made an attempt to go to third. I don't know what's going on at home plate now. The conversation between Mike Carr, the catcher, and Sam Olson. Looks like it's sorted. I don't know if I was just joking around or what, but no balls in 1 strike for Sam Olson after Connor Kobalas is picked off at second. The pitch at the letters for a called strike, and it's 0-2. The 0-2 just outside, taken for a ball. That one looked like a good pitch there. Tough take. Olson benefits. Here's the 1-2 with 2 outs. Popped up out of play, first base side. Keeps himself in the count, 1-2. So Kobalas with the leadoff base hit, moved to second on the ground out, but then was picked off. So 2 outs. Here's the 1-2, and that hits Sam Olson. First batter hit by Corey Sanchez, 4th Pippins batter to get hit by a pitch. And so here's Willie Lajoie, who's 0 for 1 tonight. He was hit by a pitch back in the second and struck out looking to end the third. Sanchez, the lefty, looks over at Olson at first. The first pitch to Lajoie, just below the knees, called ball. 2 outs, 1 runner aboard after Kobalas picked off at second earlier in the inning. Pippins up by 2 in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the 1-0 to Lajoie. Popped up and out of play behind home plate. It's 1-1. Home plate umpire Mike Carr in the beginning part of the game was all about pace, getting guys to stay in the box and moving quickly. Here's the 1-1. Backdoor slider that stays outside, and it's 2-1. Seems to have fallen by the wayside here as we're in the 5th inning. I haven't seen him gesture at all about keeping guys on pace. Here's the 2-1. Hard hit grounder right at Nick Oakley. He'll toss it to second to put out Sam Olson on the force out for the 3rd out here in the 5th. We head to the 6th. Pippins up 4-2. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
And checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
Common certainty.
Enough! With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be on, Cloud!
Oh, wait.
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
Ooh. And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Wow!
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting. Come on.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Kirby Robertson has 5 strikeouts in 5 innings. Not necessarily a strikeout pitcher, but he takes them when they're given to him.
and taking full advantage here tonight against the Port Angeles Lefties. He had just 6 strikeouts over 13 innings of work coming into this game and has almost doubled that total in 5 innings here tonight. He'll face off against 4, 5, and 6, Garrett Lake, Shea Thomas, and Trevor Tashenkel to start the bottom of the 6th inning, or the top of the 6th inning, rather. Warm-up pitch is complete. Some of the baseballs out on the field the players were using to warm up with just now making their way off the field. The left-hander Garrett Lake 1 for 1 tonight with a 2-run home run, then walked on a 4-pitch walk in the 3rd inning. See what Kirby Robertson does. He's had a little bit of time since then to build the confidence back up. See if he comes back at him with some strikes. 2-run lead for Robertson. The first pitch misses outside, and it's 1-0. Just looked like they were pitching completely around Garrett Lake back in the 3rd. Here's the 1-0. That one right on the outside corner, called strike, and it's 1-1. In the South Division standings, Corvallis with a 14-6 record, best record in the West Coast League. Ridgefield behind them at 12-8 as the 1-1 is fouled off by Garrett Lake. Ridgefield 2 games behind Corvallis, then Portland at 9-8, they're 3.5 games back, and Bend at 9-11 are 5 games behind. Cowlitz is 7-10 and 5.5 games back. The 1-2 fouled back towards his own dugout. It's 1-2 again to Garrett Lake. Robertson working out of the windup with nobody on here to start the top of the 6th inning. The 1-2 to Garrett Lake on the way. Popped up another one out of play, third base side. All 10 West Coast League teams playing right now. Corvallis nearing their 15th win of the season. The 1-2 misses high and away, and it's 2-2. Corvallis in Bend. The Knights are up 5-2 over the Elks. Bellingham and Ridgefield currently 5-4 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the 2-2 from Robertson. Grounded over to Willie Lajoie. Awkward hop, but decides to take it himself and step on the bag, but he collides with Kirby Robertson. Robertson takes a tumble. Lajoie, sturdy figure, was not going to get taken out by Kirby Robertson. Some miscommunication there. It was grounded awkwardly over to first base. Lajoie picked it up, was going to toss it to Robertson, but then decided at the last second to take it himself. Luke Saunders will hit here in the top of the 6th inning in place of Shea Thomas. Will probably enter to play first base as well. Or at least stay in defensively. Here's the first pitch to Saunders. Taken on the outside corner, called strike 1. Saunders started last night's game. He was 3 for 4 before they pinch hit for him in the 9th. The 0-1 outside corner, called strike 2. One out, nobody on for Saunders. Robertson working through the windup. Infield playing back against Saunders. The pitch swung on and missed. And the 6th strikeout of the night for Kirby Robertson is the 2nd out here in the 6th inning. Matches his season total in West Coast League play. And here's Trevor Tashenkel. Bats with 2 outs and nobody on. First batter of the inning, Garrett Lake, grounded over to first base. Kirby Robertson took a tumble but comes back out and strikes out Luke Saunders on 3 straight pitches. First pitch to Tashenkel is a backdoor slider, slipped out of the hand and was way outside. in the woods behind the property instead of at the back door. Back on the rubber and ready. Here's the 1-0 from Kirby Robertson. Just low on the outside corner, and it's 2-0. Schenkel 1 for 2 tonight with a double. Pitch. That one catches the knees. They go right back to the same location and just bring it up a bit. 2 balls and 1 strike for Trevor Schenkel. Pippins lead 4-2 here in the top of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch. Lined into left, Alex Fernandez finds where it's headed and makes the catch for out number 3. The wind continues to make things interesting here at Yakima County Stadium, but 3 up, 3 down for Kirby Robertson in the 6th as the Pippins try to hold on to the 2-run lead. We'll be back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. A couple of changes defensively for the Lefties as Garrett Lake, who started in center field, is now at first base. Luke Saunders, I would imagine, is somewhere out in the outfield, but I cannot tell you exactly where at this moment in time. Corey Sanchez continues his work, facing off against Mason Marenko to lead off the bottom of the 6th. First pitch swinging was Mason. Looks like Luke Saunders has moved to center, so just the one switch for the Lefties defensively after Saunders pinch hit for the first baseman, Shea Thomas, in the top of the 6th. Here's the 1-1 to Mason Marenko. Swung on and missed, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Marenko looking to reach base for the first time today. Popped up a bunt, an attempted sacrifice bunt back in the 2nd inning and grounded out to the shortstop in the 4th. Has been trading starts with his brother Spencer at second base. Takes the 1-2 outside, and it's 2-2. Blake Dickman behind him, and Chase Graves will bat in this inning. The 2-2 high and outside again, and Mason Marenko with a full count to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. Pippins looking to add to their 4-2 lead. The pitch swung on and missed. Got a piece of it, but tipped back into the glove of Jack Holman for out number 1. Here's Blake Dickman, who's been hit in both of his plate appearances. First one with an 0-2 count, the second one with a 1-2 count in the 4th. Sanchez is on the rubber, ready to deliver, as Blake Dickman was still taking some practice swings outside of the batter's box. The first pitch misses high. Dickman digs back in. Here's the 1-0. That one backdoor slider just came over enough, and it's 1-1. This game has been much less eventful umpiring-wise. 1-1. Fouled off by Dickman, and it's 1-2. Compared to Tuesday night when Mike Carr was back behind the plate. Also have been a lot less close plays or calls. Pippins, as far as I know, never really had an issue with Mike Carr's strike zone in Tuesday night's game. It was just calls on the bases that weren't going their way. The 1-2, backdoor slider, stays outside, and it's 2-2. And just an inability to work with the coaching staff of the Pippins that caused a lot of the tensions, as well as whatever was happening between Sam Olson behind the plate and Mike Carr. The 2-2 swung on and missed by Blake Dickman. 2 strikeouts in a row for Corey Sanchez here to start off the bottom of the 6th. And up steps the reason the Pippins have a 4-2 lead, Chase Graves. Hit a 2-run home run to the opposite field. That's where his opening night home run went as well. 97 miles per hour off the bat, 362 feet to right field. With Blake Dickman on first after getting hit by the pitch, scored both runs to take the 4-2 lead. Here's the 0-1 from Corey Sanchez after the first pitch swung on and missed, taken up high, and it's a ball, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 to Graves. He fouls that one off. Got a piece of someone around home plate, whether it was himself or the catcher. Alex Fernandez, the bottom of the order on deck, if Graves is able to continue the inning. 1-2 from Sanchez. Misses inside, almost hit Chase Graves, and it's 2-2. The 2-2. That one misses low inside as well, and the count now full for Chase Graves with 2 outs and nobody on. Sanchez yet to walk anybody since coming into the game in the bottom of the 4th with 1 out and nobody on. Here's the 3-2. Swung on and grounded just past head coach Kyle Crustangel. Full count, 2 outs again for Graves, the right-handed hitter. Here's the pitch. Hit right back up the middle. Second hit of the night for Chase Graves. Big turn at first and decides not to go as Luke Saunders gets it back into the infield. Chase Graves working his way out of a slump in his last game, had 1 base hit in his final at-bat. Comes back, struck out in his first at-bat here tonight, but then a 2-run home run to give the Pippins a 4-2 lead. And a 2-out base hit here in the bottom of the 6th. That will bring Alex Fernandez to the plate. He's got 2 strikeouts, 1 a forward and 1 a backwards K. That would be the best move of Corey Sanchez. It turns out it's a step-off throw from the lefty. Lefties have all the good pickoff moves. First pitch to Fernandez, swung on and tipped. Strike 1. Fernandez was the first batter to face Corey Sanchez in the bottom of the 4th. Struck out looking on a pitch low and away. Caught the corner according to Mike Carr. The 0-1 grounded back up the middle past the glove of Sanchez, but picking it up is Javi Espinoza, who will step on the bag for out number 3. Quick play by Espinoza with the fancy footwork. So Chase Graves with the 2-out base hit. The Pippins strand him there. We head to the 7th. Pippins lead 4-2. Be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we had gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires. Proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, Go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. New pitcher for the Pippins. Payson Sweeney will take over. So Robertson made it through 6 innings of work. He struck out 6 along the way, doubling his season total of strikeouts. 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, and 3 walks for Kirby Robertson, all in the first 3 innings. Here's Payson Sweeney. We'll start the 7th inning for the Pippins. Sweeney, part of a crop of 4 pitchers Pippins brought in today to help bolster the bullpen. As long as everything goes according to plan, expected to be the last major additions of arms to the roster for the Pippins this season. Anything could happen. Injuries could crop up along the way, but if everyone stays healthy and performs as expected, the Pippins, I believe at this point, have the roster they expect to have for the rest of the season. Sweeney will start off facing Carson Crawford, Jack Holman, and Nick Oakley to start the top of the 7th inning. It's 7, 8, and 9. Here's the first pitch from Payson Sweeney, the right-hander, working out of the windup, taken low for a called ball. (1-0) inside. Sweeney with a methodical windup. High leg kick as he goes through the motion. The 2-0, that one located on the low outside corner for a strike. It's 2-1 for Carson Crawford. Crawford had a home run last night. He was 2 for 4 with 2 strikeouts and then a double in that home run. Here's the 2-1. Slider that started at Crawford and broke over the plate. It's 2-2. Sweeney, who's been working at a quick pace, like I said, methodical windup, moves slowly through it, but gets on the mound and ready to pitch quickly. Here's the 2-2. Another slider that just froze Carson Crawford. He immediately started walking off, and first batter, first strikeout for Payson Sweeney. Pippins fans always happy to welcome a new pitcher with a performance when they freeze batters the first batter they face. Here's Jack Holman, the catcher tonight, batting from the left side. Caught in Tuesday night's game. Hit last night as well as the DH for the Lefties. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Here's the 1-0. That one inside half of the plate, called strike. Here comes the 1-1 from Payson Sweeney. That one slider just slipped out of the hand. Was over in the right-handed batter's box, 2-1. Pippins were hoping Kirby Robertson could go as long as he did. Maybe hoping for a 7th. I think pitch count finished up his day. Also, after last night, as Sweeney misses outside 3-1. Pippins taking note of what happened last night. Kenny Johnson had a strong 5 innings, came out for the 6th and was just out of gas. Walked the first 2 batters of the 6th inning and then hit another. Owen Wild came in. A 3-1 hard hit line drive by Jack Holman, and that ball will be gone. It's a solo shot by Jack Holman to bring the score to 4-3 here in the top of the 7th. That one was not coming down anytime soon. And Jack Holman, the catcher, brings the Lefties to within 1. Lead-wise, the Pippins were not leading at any point in Tuesday's game. Last night, they took a 1-0 lead in the first. The Lefties took a 2-1 lead in the 5th. Pippins added 2 in the 5th for themselves to make it 3-2. So after 5, they were ahead, but then the Lefties scored 4 in the 6th to take the lead that they would hold 6-3 all the way until the end of that game. The Pippins leading after 6 innings here tonight, the first time that they've held a lead after 6 innings this series. Here's the 1-0. And another hard-hit line drive to right field. Blake Dickman racing over and makes the catch. That one not hit quite as hard as Jack Holman's. So 2 outs in the top of the 7th, as the Lefties have scored 1 to pull within 1 of the Yakima Valley Pippins. Top of the order, Taku Kataoka, the first pitch. Popped up out of play, third base side. First pitch swinging was Taku. And it's 0-1. Sweeney back through the windup. The 0-1, a slider. Tried to go back door. Has struggled without the batter there. I've seen that earlier this season with a different pitcher. Just has trouble locating the backdoor slider, but with a righty up can put the front door slider exactly where it needs to be. Sometimes just having that target to play off of really helps. He misses outside, and it's 2-1. Here's the pitch from Sweeney. Outside corner and fouled off by Taku Kataoka. 2-2 for the right fielder. Taku 0 for 2 tonight. He walked back in the first, was caught stealing second. Ground out and a strikeout after that for him. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the 2-2. This is way outside. Carpentier doesn't even get a glove on it, and it's full for Kataoka. Struck out looking with a full count back in the 5th inning. And here comes the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, and Taku Kataoka strikes out for the 2nd time tonight. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Peyton Sweeney in his first inning of work. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch. Pippins lead 4-3. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Joseph Sinclair will take over for Corey Sanchez, whose day is now done. Sanchez gave up 2 hits over 2 2/3 innings. No runs for him.
Didn't walk a batter, but did hit one along the way and struck out 3. Sinclair, also a lefty, takes over on the mound. Sinclair has pitched in 4 games for the Lefties. He started one of them, has 9 innings of work, 3.0 ERA. Walked 5 and struck out 12 along the way. He'll face the top of the order for the Pippins, Chaz Myers. Take you back to Sunday night's game when Chaz Myers tied the franchise record with 3 doubles in a game. First double came in the 3rd inning. Second double came in the bottom of the 5th, and his third one in the bottom of the 7th. The one in the 5th tied the game at the time. Chaz Myers comes into this game with 9 doubles, which is 3rd in the West Coast League. The top 2 tied at 10. Here's the 1-0. Popped up out of play, and it's 1-1. The 1-1 lined softly into center field. Luke Saunders will come up and make the catch for out number 1 to start the bottom of the 7th. Connor Cobalis will hit. He's 2 for 3, couple of base hits and a fly out for him. First pitch from Sinclair to Cobalis, taken low for ball 1. Cobalis scored on the double play grounded into by Sam Olson back in the 3rd inning that tied the game at 2. Timeout called at home plate. So still 1 ball, no strikes for Connor Cobalis. Bats with 1 out and nobody on. First pitch. After the 1-0, taken low inside for a ball, and it's 2-0. Misses as well, and Connor Cobalis out to a 3-0 hitters count here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The 3-0 misses outside, and it's a 4-pitch walk for Connor Cobalis, on for the 3rd time today. Michael Carpentier Jr. will bat. Bats from the left side. Lefty-lefty matchup again for him after facing off against Sanchez in the 5th inning. He grounded out that time. 9-pitch at bat back in the 5th. Had a base hit, infield base hit that later scored a run after the ball was thrown away by the second baseman on the play. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Pippins scored 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. Here's the 1-0. That one misses even further outside, and it's 2-0. 6 straight balls thrown by Joseph Sinclair. And now timeout called for a mound visit for the Lefties. Lefties got the scoring started in the 2nd inning. 2-out base hit by Coleman Schmidt, and then a 2-run home run by Garrett Lake. Then in the bottom of the 3rd, as I said, Chaz Myers on second base, Connor Cobalis on first when Carpentier hit a ground ball that was headed through the right side when Javi Espinoza cut it off to prevent the run from scoring, but tried to get the out at first anyways. And Carpentier had it beat out, but it was thrown away from first, allowing Myers to score and Cobalis to move up to 3rd. So when Sam Olson grounded into the double play, Cobalis scored the 2nd and tying run of the game at that point in the bottom of the 3rd. The 2-0 catches the outside corner to Carpentier. Then in the 4th inning with a 1-out, the starter Riley Agson hit his third batter of the day, Blake Dickman, who was hit for the second time in the game. And Chase Graves took Agson deep to right field for a 2-run home run that gave the Pippins their first lead of the game, 4-2. 2-1 taken low by Michael Carpentier Jr. He has a 3-1 count with 1 out. And Kobalas on first base here in the bottom of the 7th as the Pippins now lead by 1 after the solo home run by Jack Holman in the top of the 7th. The 3-1 misses low and away, and Michael Carpentier Jr., the second walk issued in a row by Joseph Sinclair. So here's Sam Olson, who grounded into that double play in the 3rd, driving home the 2nd run. He also had a ground rule double in the 2nd, ended up getting stranded on 3rd as the Pippins left the bases loaded in the 2nd inning and was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Olson came into the clubhouse today to a little bit of a surprise as a prank pulled on him by his teammates. His bats were taped up in his locker. First pitch to Sam Olson, taken low for a ball. I've heard rumors that he's already started forming a coalition to exact revenge. So potential prank wars beginning in the clubhouse for the Pippins, a fun-loving group from the beginning. Checks back to second, Joseph Sinclair does, now pitches, grounded to the first base side and will just bounce foul. So it's 1-1. Olson with a 1-1 count, 1 out. Connor Cavalis on second base, Michael Carpentier Jr. on first. Pippins up by 1. Here's the pitch. Outside slider, he flies this one to center. Luke Saunders ranging to his left to make the catch. Kobalas will tag to third. The throw gets cut off, and Kobalas tags up from second to third base. Michael Carpentier Jr. will stay at first, so Sam Olson flies out, but moves one of the runners over, and now there's runners on the corners with 2 outs for Willie Lajoie. Lajoie without a hit tonight. He was hit by a pitch in the 2nd and technically reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th. He also struck out. First pitch to Lajoie, misses low. And it's 1-0. Hasn't yet satisfied the criteria in this game to extend his on-base streak. A few nights ago, he extended it with a hit on his last at-bat. Facing a new pitcher, Joseph Sinclair here. The 1-0 fouled off of himself in the batter's box, and it's 1-1 for the first baseman. Started at first on Tuesday night, was the DH last night as Blake Dickman played first base. Dickman now in right field tonight as Lajoie takes over again at first base. 1-1 count, 2 outs, runners on the corners, and Lajoie fouls another one off. One ball and 2 strikes for Lajoie out of Chico State. Didn't get a chance to play a season with Chico State as they didn't hold one here in 2021, but has been on a tear. Came into this game hitting .348. One of the better offensive hitters for the Pippins. Takes a pitch low as Michael Carpentier Jr. takes off for second and slides in safely. So now runners on second and third for the Pippins with 2 outs, and Lajoie with a 2-2 count. Sinclair, the lefty, working out of the stretch with runners on second and third. Comes set. Here's the pitch. Outside, and the count is full for Lajoie. First base now open after Carpentier took second base. Full count, 2 outs, runners on second and third. Here's the payoff pitch. Fouled off by Willie Lajoie. fouled off almost straight back to the backstop. Usually indicates that the hitter has the timing right. Just got a little too far underneath it. As Lajoie looks for his first base hit of the night. The 3-2 again. Takes up high, and Willie Lajoie walks with a full count to load the bases with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. And with that, Lajoie extends his on-base streak to 20 games. Willie Lajoie has played in 20 games this season for the Pippins and has reached base in all of them, recording at least 1 hit or walk in each game. And timeout called by the Lefties as they perhaps will make a change. And it looks like they will. We'll have that change for you when we return. Bottom of the 7th inning. Pippins just loaded the bases with their 3rd walk of the inning. 2 outs. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
And checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
Common certainty!
Enough! With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be gone, Cloud!
Oh! Wait!
Built for action. Built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
Ooh. And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Wow! Ben, you don't even live here anymore? Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting.
Come on, welcome to the Ice Dome.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Tetsuya Uemoto will take over on the mound for the Port Angeles Lefties. Last pitched in Tuesday's game for the Lefties. On Tuesday, pitched the final 2 innings of the game against the Pippins. Gave up no runs on 2 hits in those 2 innings, no walks and no strikeouts for Uemoto. Overall on the season, no decisions so far. In 4 appearances, has pitched 8 innings. Has a 2.25 ERA. With no runners on, has or potentially with the bases loaded as well. His delivery includes a bit of a hang as he lifts his left leg up. The right-hander does. Lifts his left leg up and holds it there before delivering the pitch. Kind of throws off the rhythm of the batter. So Joseph Sinclair gets 2 outs, but can't get the 3rd without loading the bases on 3 walks. And now we'll face off against Mason Marenko. Tetsuya Uemoto will, with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th. Pippins have a 1-run lead as the Lefties narrowed the gap to just 1 run with a solo home run in the 7th by Jack Holman. Here's the first pitch to Mason Marenko. Low and away, bounced on home plate and taken for a ball. Mason due for a hit here tonight. Failed to lay down a sacrifice bunt, popped it up instead. Ground out and a strikeout as well. Here's the 1-0 from Uemoto. Popped up, foul territory, out of play, first base side. 2 outs in the inning. A fly ball will not score the run. Sky not nearly dark enough here in Yakima. Sun still setting, mostly set. Some orange on the horizon over the hills beyond the outfield fence. The lights on here at Yakima County Stadium. Just over 2 hours into this game. Bottom of the 7th inning. Pippins lead 4-3. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 1-1 count for Mason Marenko. Here's the pitch. They go to the breaking ball and get him out in front of it. It's 1-2. Marenko trying to figure out Tatsuya Uemoto. Here's the 1-2. They go back to the breaking ball, and Mason Marenko lets it bounce. It's 2-2. Mason Marenko faced off against Tatsuya Uemoto in the bottom of the 8th inning on Tuesday night. Grounded into a double play that ended the 8th inning for the Pippins. He was 0 for 4 that night. 0 for 3 so far tonight after the quick conference in the infield. Two balls and 2 strikes for Tatsuya Uemoto against Mason Marenko. 2 outs and the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 7th as the Pippins look to add to their 1-run lead. Look to give an insurance run to the pitching staff, who over the last couple of games has had trouble holding on to leads. Here's the 2-2. That one lined just over the netting, off the press box. And the count remains even at 2-2. Young Fan makes the grab on the ball as it bounced around on the stands. Uemoto steps off and now steps back on, and timeout called at home plate. And another gesture to the wrist of Mike Carr, which indicates something about time. I really don't know exactly at this point in time what that gesture is supposed to indicate. Here's the 2-2 to Mason Marenko. Low and away, taken for a ball. Mike Carr thought about it, stood up, but did not bring the arms around to ring up Mason Marenko, but asked him to step back in the box. And Marenko's going to have to swing at anything close. Full count, 2 outs, bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th. Tatsuya Uemoto gets the sign he likes. Comes set. Hangs and delivers. Grounded to the left side. Picked up by Oakley. Throws across the diamond, and Mason Marenko grounds out to end the 7th. The Pippins fail to score in the 7th despite loading the bases with 2 outs. We head to the 8th inning. Pippins lead 4-3. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium for the top of the 8th inning as Landon Shire will take over for the Pippins. Shire has been on the roster since opening day for the Pippins, but had not been able to join them as he was busy with Angelo State University as they made a run all the way into the D2 College World Series. Just joined the team today, makes his first appearance for the Pippins. They made it to the Division II National Championships semifinals. The first pitch popped up to center field. Chase Grayers makes the catch for out number 1 as Espinoza flies out to start the top of the 8th. Angelo State University made it to the D2 National Championship semifinals against Wingate College and lost 8-7 in an 11-inning nail-biter. The National Championship semifinals, the furthest Angelo State University has ever gone. They were 44-9 on the season, 25-5 in conference play. First pitch taken for a strike by Coleman Schmidt. Shire in the championship game of the South Central Regional Tournament at the team 1 to advance to the Division II College World Series. He pitched 1 inning, walked 1, and struck out 2 to help his team advance to the big dance. Fouled off by Schmidt, and it's 0-2. Overall on the season, Shire made 7 appearances, 5 2/3 innings pitched. Works out of the windup with nobody on. Here's the 0-2 to Coleman Schmidt. Slider gets him swinging, and that's the first strikeout of the night for Landon Shire. Shire, one pitcher that Kyle Crustangel has been talking about for a while, because Shire pitched for Crustangel in Wenatchee back in 2019. In fact, in 2019, first pitch fouled off by Garrett Lake. Garrett Lake had a 2-run home run back in the first to give the Lefties their first lead of the game, 2-0. Back in 2019, the last appearance in the West Coast League for Landon Shire was a relief appearance against the Yakima Valley Pippins. He pitched 1 inning, gave up 2 earned runs, 2 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts as the Apple Sox defeated the Pippins 10-6. Swung on and missed by Garrett Lake, and it's 0-2. So his last appearance in the league is against the Pippins. His next one here in 2021 on July 1st is for the Pippins, with Crustangel now at the helm of Yakima Valley. The 0-2 grounded to the right side. Mason Marenko will play it on the hop. Over to first in time, and Landon Shire in his first inning of work sets the Lefties down in order. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Pippins look to add to their 4-3 lead. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Corey Jarrell will pinch hit for Blake Dickman, who started out in right field tonight. Jarrell will more than likely stay in right field for the Pippins. Dickman was 0 for 1. He was hit by 2 different pitches in the 2nd and 4th innings and had a strikeout in the 6th. Was scheduled to lead off the bottom of the 8th, but Jarrell will bat instead. Bats from the left side against Tatsuya Uemoto, the right-hander. Jarrell squares around to bunt, pulls it back, and takes a ball off the outside corner, 1-0. Third baseman Carson Crawford was charging hard on the play. Takes a few steps about in line with the third base bag, but away from the line. Here's the 1-0. That one off the outside corner, but closer, and it's 2-0. First base playing back against the lefty Jarrell. Here's the 2-0. And that one misses off the outside edge again. It's 3-0 for Corey Jarrell, as Uemoto has thrown 3 straight balls off the outside corner to the lefty. Here's the 3-0. And the strike zone opens up on the 3-0 count. Mike Carr does Tatsuya Uemoto a bit of a favor on 3-0, so 3 balls and 1 strike. Have to imagine if he threw that same pitch on a 3-1, that would have walked Jarrell. Here's the 3-1. Jarrell fouls it off, and the count is now full. Here in the West Coast League, 4-pitch walks, although we've seen a couple of them today, are very rare. The strike zone opens up quite a bit as umpires try to keep pitchers in the counts, and just one of those things that sometimes can come back to haunt an umpire as they give him 1 pitch, and a close pitch here could ring up Jarrell looking when he should have walked on that 4th pitch. Here's the 3-2. Takes low, and he does walk now 3 pitches later to lead off the bottom of the 8th. So here's Chase Graves, who will bat with Corey Jarrell on first. Graves had the 2-run home run in the 4th inning to the opposite field over the right field wall, 362 feet. Base hit in the 6th. Bats with 1 runner on. Pippins with just a 1-run lead here in the bottom of the 8th. The first pitch. He hits this one to center on a line. Luke Saunders ranging back will make the catch over his shoulder for out number 1. And so Alex Fernandez will get pinch hit by Alex Shanks. The lefties have made a number of substitutions throughout the series, and the Pippins starting to go along with their style of play. Some substitutions here in the 8th inning. Shanks bats for Fernandez, who was 0 for 3 at that point with 2 strikeouts. The pitch to Shanks. Inside corner for a strike. Interesting because Corey Jarrell walked as a left-hander. Uemoto just seemed to not be able to locate a ball over the plate with the lefty up. Throws over to first. And Alex Fernandez is a left-handed hitter as well. But I would imagine the decision to have Shanks hit for Fernandez was made well before Jarrell walked. So here's the 0-1. Grounded to the 3rd baseman, Carson Crawford. Over to second in time. The throw to first. And the field umpire was not looking at first base. He had his attention on second. And he signals to second that Corey Jarrell beat the throw into second, but he was not looking at first base. So timeout called as the umpires will get together, and whatever Mike Carr saw at first, if he sees anything, is going to stand here. It was a close play. I mean, I couldn't tell you for sure whether he beat it out or not. And the field umpire, Kelly Richmond, knows he's made a mistake, but there's nothing that they can do about it. They're going to talk it over with Matt Acker. I don't know whether Acker is arguing about both plays here or not, but I think they're going to call Alex Shanks safe at first because they don't have a view of him being out. I do not know whether Mike Carr had eyes on first base or not. But the primary call would have been Richmond's in the field, and he was looking at second base to check on the slide of Corey Jarrell, ended up calling him safe on the throw. I don't know if the throw from Carson Crawford pulled Nick Oakley off the bag or Javi Espinoza off the bag or what, but Jarrell was safe on the close play at second as Crawford tried to turn the double play. And it looks like they're going to keep Alex Shanks on first base. So in a series filled with errors, an error by the umpires benefits the Pippins.
So Shanks will reach on the fielder's choice, but Gerald safe at second. So runners on first and second, 1 out. And the Pippins just given the biggest favor in the world. Opportunity to continue the inning here in the 8th. Chaz Myers bats with 1 out and 2 on against Uemoto. The pitch at the knees for a called strike. The flip side of that is the strike zone is going to get a little larger for the Pippins as Mike Carr tries to balance the scales in this game. So the Pippins will look to be swinging on close pitches here or risk striking out. Myers tried to call timeout, and Mike Carr refused to give it to him well before Uemoto comes set. The 0-1 is low and taken for a ball, and it's 1-1. Mike Carr just put his hands out, essentially saying, why are you calling time when Uemoto isn't even set? But that's part of the reason. Batters don't like to sit in the box for very long, and the pitcher hasn't even come set and you've reached your internal clock. You want a chance to reset. Here's the 1-1 to Myers. Up high and misses. It's 2-1. Corey Jarrell, who pinch hit for Blake Dickman, walked to start the inning. Chase Graves lined out to the center fielder, and then Alex Shanks hit the ground ball to third baseman Carson Crawford that on a mix-up by the umpires. Both runners called safe. At least the one at second was seen by the field umpire, Richmond. Myers fouls one off low and inside. It got a piece of something back there, and it's 2-2. The ball that was hit to Carson Crawford, that would have been a tough double play to turn anyways. Almost thought it would have been better for him to just throw to first and get the for sure out with Gerald. Lots of speed at first base, charging into second. But he went to second after taking the awkward hop. And Gerald slid in safely. The throw to first was not seen by the umpires, so they left Shanks there. Here's the 2-2 to Myers. That one low, and the count is full for the third baseman, Myers. Bottom of the 8th inning. Pippins have not scored since the 4th when they took a 4-2 lead. Lefties had a solo home run in the 7th. All 3 of the runs scored by the Lefties have been home runs, a 2-run home run in the 1st and the solo shot in the 7th. Here's the payoff pitch to Myers, inside, taken, strike 3, and as predicted, that one just a little bit inside. Could have caught the inside corner, but Myers rung up. After the play, letting Alex Shanks on first, the strike zone widens a little bit, and a borderline call turns into a for sure strike 3 with the full count against Myers. So 2 outs and runners on first and second, and Connor Kobalas will hit against Uemoto. Uemoto comes set. First pitch to Kobalas. Called strike, same location as the strike 3 to Chaz Myers. Kobalas 2 for 3 tonight, couple of base hits, has scored a run. He was picked off a second base and walked back in the 7th in his last plate appearance. Uemoto looks back to second. Here's the 0-1 with 2 outs. That one low, and it's 1-1 for the shortstop, Kobalas. Runners on first and second. 1-1 count to Kobalas with 2 outs. The pitch from Uemoto. Inside almost hit Kobalas. The runners will move up after it skips off of Jack Holman's shin guard. And Kobalas with a 2-1 count. Quick meeting out on the mound for the Lefties.
Mike Carr completing his paperwork on the mound visit. All about pace of play, Mike Carr is. 2 balls and 1 strike for Connor Cobalis with 2 outs. Runners on second and third. Uemoto comes set and delivers. That one inside. Just a little high, so called a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike for Cobalis, who walked in his last plate appearance, his 11th walk of the season. Here's the 3-1. Takes that one at the knees for a called strike, and the count is full for Connor Cobalis. So 2 straight full counts, and Cobalis will have to protect the plate as Chaz Myers rung up on a borderline call on the inside half of the plate. Here's the payoff pitch to Cobalis. Inside, and this time called a ball. Cobalis walks to load the bases with 2 outs. Pippins have left the bases loaded twice so far today, but Michael Carpentier Jr. will look to break the cycle. Second left-hander of the inning to face off against the righty Uemoto. Uemoto walked Gerald to start the inning as he had trouble bringing the ball over the plate. He was missing outside to the lefty Gerald. Carpentier 1 for 3 with a walk. First pitch from Uemoto. That one misses outside. Uemoto continues to struggle without a batter in the right-handed batter's box. Here's the 1-0. That one brought over the plate, grounded through the right side. Javi Espinoza to it. The pitcher there slow to get to the bag, but in time for the flip. And Michael Carpentier Jr. grounds out to strand the bases loaded for the 3rd time today for the Pippins. We head to the top of the 9th. Pippins look to hold on to their 1-run lead. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Welcome back to the Orchard. Michael Carpentier Jr. grounded out to end the bottom of the 8th inning, so still getting his gear on as Landon Shire gets himself ready on the mound. Switched out baseballs with Mike Carr to help pass the time. Pippins will look to hold on to a 4-3 lead. They have left the bases loaded 3 times tonight, including the last 2 innings, the 7th and the 8th. And all that without recording a hit in the 7th or 8th innings. Landon Shire came on in the 8th inning, set the lefties down in order with a strikeout, a flyout, and a ground out, not in that order. He'll face
Luke Saunders to start the ninth. A bunt back up to Shire, who will underhand it to Lajoie at first. And Luke Saunders trying to catch the defense off guard. Shire well awake here in the top of the ninth inning. Trevor Tashenkel will try with one out and nobody on, and Carson Crawford behind him, the first three batters of this inning. First pitch swinging, chopper to Connor Caballas at short. The throw is high, but Lajoie reaches up and makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 quick outs here in the top of the ninth, and the Pippins 1 out away from avoiding the sweep. Pinch hitter Zach Thomas will bat for Carson Crawford. Crawford to this point was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. First pitch misses low. He does not swing at the first pitch. First batter to do so tonight. Thomas was the DH Tuesday night. He went 0 for 5. A couple of strikeouts, reached on an error in that 6-run first inning when the Pippins committed 4 errors. Fouls off the 1-0, and it's 1-1 for Thomas. One of a few two-way players on this Lefties roster, listed as a right-handed pitcher. Shire, 1 ball, 1 strike against Zach Thomas. And misses for a ball. It's 2-1. Shire through the windup. Here's the 2-1. That one, a beautiful slider that Thomas had turned his back on. Comes back over the plate, and it's 2-2. So 2 pitches, 2 outs for Landon Shire in the top of the ninth. He stands on the rubber ready as Thomas digs in for the 2-2. Shire with the pitch. Another slider popped up into center field. Chase Graves to his left, underneath it, and makes the catch for out number 3. 2 losses to start the series, but the Pippins respond in Game 3 to avoid the sweep. The whiteboard in the clubhouse said, "Defend the orchard. We do not get swept," and indeed they have not. Through the early part of the season, the Pippins improved to 11-7, and Port Angeles falls to 6-9. The Pippins holding on to their top spot in the North Division as they head into the 6-game road trip to finish out the first half. They head off to Bend tomorrow night. It was 2 runs in the top of the first inning for Port Angeles on the 2-out base hit by Coleman Schmidt, and then a home run by Garrett Lake that brought the 2 runs home. They led until the bottom of the 3rd inning when Chaz Myers led off the inning with a walk, and Connor Caballas had a base hit to put runners on first and second with no outs. Michael Carpentier Jr. almost singled through the right side. Instead, it was an infield base hit, but the second baseman, Javi Espinoza, threw the ball away at first, allowing Chaz Myers to score and Caballas to move up to third. Caballas then scored on the double play, grounded into by Sam Olson. There were 2 outs in the inning after that as the Pippins tied the game at 2. Score stood the same until the bottom of the 4th inning when, with 1 out, Blake Dickman was hit by a pitch for the 2nd time in the game, and Chase Graves on the very next pitch hit a 362-foot home run to the opposite field, right field, his 2nd home run of the season that gave the Pippins a 4-2 lead. They would hold on to the lead as Kirby Robertson pitched 6 complete innings, gave up 4 hits, struck out 6, gave up just those 2 runs in the first. Payson Sweeney, in his debut with the Pippins, took over in the 7th. He gave up 1 hit, a solo home run to Jack Holman that made the score 4-3. And Landon Shire closed out the final 2 innings, facing the minimum. Strikeout for him along the way. Shire, in his debut, earns a 6-out save, and the Pippins walk away with a 4-3 victory. We'll be back tomorrow night, 6:35 p.m. first pitch in Bend, with audio-only coverage provided on Mixlr. You can either find us on Mixlr Audio at Pippins Baseball, or just go to pippinsbaseball.com/live
and find the portal there. You can just hit play and listen all night long. Until then, I've been Chris Rosado Jr. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you'll listen tomorrow night.